Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Trina. Today's video is the third weekly reading vlog of the month of May, my May Roll for Reads series, wherein every week of May I plan to film and collate all of the days that I have been reading for the whole month of May. And we are rolling for our reads using a D20. If you haven't seen the first 2 weeks of this weekly reading vlog, I will put a link down in the description for you guys. And yeah, that's basically all of the introduction that I have here. For this week, as you can see here, there's a lot of what do you call this? Numbers that have been blocked out. The second episode, spoiler alert, has been quite chaotic due to the fact that I accidentally deleted the introduction. Therefore, I was not able to show any of my dice rolls. And during that filming of that video, when it still existed, I was super annoyed how how I kept on re-rolling the same numbers over and over again that have already been blacked out. So for this week, I actually added another list of books that I am excited to read for, like, in the case of me rolling for a repeat number. So my goal is hopefully to be able to read some of the books that I've already blacked out here, including Notes on Execution, even though I did like um, color it in color orange highlighter for week 2. I still have not finished that as of the moment, as well as Crime and Punishment I have not touched. So we are carrying over a couple of books from last week, namely Crime and Punishment, Atalanta, City of Last Chances, and Notes on an Execution. So those are the 4 books that we are carrying over from the previous 2 episodes to this one. And then we are going to roll for 5 more books for this week's episode. I do like to quickly, like a little bit of a disclaimer, I have already actually started The Appeal by Janice Halliot, which is number 16 here in our new list. So if ever we landed on that book, I am going to re-roll just because I would like more options for this week. I am actually filming this a little bit earlier compared to when I normally would film an introduction because I cut down like last week's video shorter compared to usual. I tend to start filming this intro on an afternoon of Thursday, but it is Wednesday today, so like it's just one day. But still, I know that tomorrow, Thursday, is going to be a little bit busy, but there's going to be a lot of waiting in line and a lot of stuff's going to happen also on the weekends that involves me waiting a lot. So I would like a new list of possibilities, I guess, for a TBR for this week so that I could like I'm just excited basically to read more books. And because of this video, I'm not saying that because of this video I'm not like I am stopping myself from reading other books, but it's like I'm saving the books that I want to read for this video because basically the new list is all of the books that I wanted to read like almost immediately. So yeah, once if we roll any new books from the list, then we're going to talk about it. On my second attempt of this video, the lost files, I guess the lost footage of me rolling, I forgot to bring the bowl and the dice just rolled like everywhere. I can't really identify what number it landed on. It was a mess. So half of me is like sad and frustrated that I lost that footage, but half of me also was like relieved so that you won't see like how frustrated I was in that clip. So in any case, we are rolling for our first one for this week, and that's a 19. So it is a repeat number, and 19 for the new set is Eat the Ones You Love. Huh, how interesting that this does not have like a cover for Fable, but it is in Goodreads. So Eat the Ones You Love by Sarah Marie Griffin. I don't know if I've like read a book by her or it was a different Griffin. But anyway, synopsis: a twisted, tangled story about workplace love affairs and plants with a taste for human flesh. During a grocery run to her local shopping center, Shell Pine sees a help needed sign in a flower shop window. She's just left her fiance, lost her job, and moved home to her parents' house. She has to make a change and bring some good into her life, so she goes inside and takes a chance. Shell realizes right away that flowers are just the good thing she's been looking for, as is Nevi, or is it Neve? Let's say Nevi. the beautiful florist who wrote the sign asking for help. The thing is, Nevi needs help more than Shell could possibly imagine. An orchid growing out of sight in the heart of the mall is watching them closely. His name is Baby, and the beautiful florist belongs to him. He's young, he's hungry, and he'll do just about anything to make sure he can keep growing big and strong. Nothing he eats, nobody he eats can satisfy him except the thing he most desires. Nevi. He adores her and wants to consume her, and will stop at nothing to eat the one he loves. This is a story about possession and monstrosity and working retail. It is about hunger and desire and other terrible things that grow. So, in a way, this was quite interesting. I believe this was a cover pick for me. I find the cover very interesting, and also the concept of it. I did not know that it was like flower shop in a way, but if you're Filipino, and if you are familiar with the Robina case of Robinsons, like this reminds me of that, where rumors have it that there's a big snake under like one of the very popular malls in the Philippines, and um, there is a trap door under like the dressing rooms, and then the snake like identifies whether or not they want to consume this particular person, or especially it's like woman's dressing room, and there's a trap door under there so that they can feed the snake, something like that. And it kind of reminds me of that. Of course, it's just rumors, but it's like an urban legend at this point, and it's quite interesting. So that's the first book that we are going to read for this TBR for this week. I'm super excited for this actually. Now we proceed to book number two. Would it be interesting that all of the books that we have here are new? Never mind, I just said that. And then we landed on one of the older lists, which is Boy Parts. Boy Parts by Eliza Clark is a debut novel. Let's see. Debut novel from a brash new talent, a pitch black comedy, both shocking and hilarious, which fiercely explores sexuality and gender roles in the 21st century. Let's see, where is the synopsis? Where did the synopsis begin? Exiled from the art world and on sabbatical from her dead end bar job, Irina obsessively takes explicit photographs of average looking men she persuades to model for her, scouted from the streets of Newcastle. But her talent has not gone unnoticed, and Irina is invited to display her work at a fashionable London gallery. It is a chance to revive her career and escape from the rut of drugs, alcohol, and extreme cinema she's fallen into. She's fallen into. Yet the news instead triggers a self-destructive tailspin centered around Irina's consuming relationship with her best friend and a shy young man from her local supermarket who has attracted her attention. So it is quite like a little bit of a longer book, but what do I call this? I forgot where I got this like recommendation from. Like I think I saw a YouTuber add this to her TBR or something, but I did not really recall if she liked it or not. Nor did I recall if I watched through the whole thing to where she reviewed the book. But in any case, the struggling artist, pretty much like world of drugs and alcohol, and it's kind of scary, quite horror. It is a dark horror fiction, which I really enjoyed very much, and I also like just a little bit of something like this is not really relating to anything, but I recalled when I read that the main character's name is Irina. I remembered one time when I was still younger, still in college, I was watching the Game Theorist GTA live stream, wherein I commented like on their live stream, and I got called out and like said hello, like Matt Pat, and he read my name instead of Trina as Irina, and he called me Irina. And I think the letter T, the capital T in my name, kind of looks like an I if like granted the millions of people that are like commenting on their live stream. And I'm just pretty happy actually that I was able to get called on it. Um, but still, it's just like a memory when I read the synopsis of the main character's name as Irina or Irina. So that's the second one for this week's TBR. I'm hoping that it's going to be like maybe number four or number five. Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang is like something interesting for me. It's like a pandemic book. And then Mad Honey, I believe, is like Female Rage or something. and we got a 6. So not 4 or 5, but 6. We got the paleontologist. So the paleontologist by, is it Dumas or Dumas, because there's an S at the back. But curator of paleontology Dr. Simon Neely never expected to return to his Pennsylvania hometown, let alone Hawthorne Museum of Natural History. He was just a boy when his 6-year-old sister Morgan was abducted from the museum under his watch, and the guilt has haunted Simon ever since. After a recent breakup and the death of an aunt who raised him, Simon feels drawn back to the place where Morgan vanished, in search of the bones they never found. But from the moment he arrives, things aren't what he expected. The Hawthorne is a crumbling ruin, still closed amidst the ongoing pandemic and plummeting towards financial catastrophe. Worse, Simon begins seeing and hearing things he can't explain. Strange animal sounds, bloody footprints that no living creature could have left, a prehistoric killer looming in the shadows of the museum. Terrified he's losing his grasp on reality, Simon turns to handwritten research diaries of his predecessors and uncovers a blood soaked mystery 150 million years in the making that could be the answer to everything. So, when I added this to my TBR like a couple of months ago, um, I thought of it as like a horror version of Night at the Museum for some reason, like a museum that's on the verge of financial ruin. And this one is a curator. The Night at the Museum is like a night guard, and it's almost like similar in theme of like somebody trying to go through a museum during the night, maybe. But this one is more murder mystery, and I'm just intrigued by what it means by a mystery 150 million years in the making. Like, what sort of, could it be bacteria or like a bacteria or something? Hmm, it might be that. Who knows? It might be a virus or something. Like, viruses are man-made, so it might be a bacteria or something. Who knows? We'll see. If I'm able to get to this one, we'll talk about it. And yeah, still quite excited. So we're going to roll for our fourth one. Only 2 books left, and still a lot of books here that I really would like to be added to the TBR. And we rolled another 17. So let's roll again. I did not expect to roll again. Granted that I made a very much a new list for all of the books that have already been colored in. Number 4, there we go. Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang. Here we are. So it is Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang by Kylie Lee Baker. Cora Zhang is a crime scene cleaner washing away the remains of brutal murders and suicides in Chinatown. But none of that seems so terrible when she's already witnessed the most horrific thing possible, her sister Delilah being pushed in front of a train. Before fleeing the scene, the murderer shouted 2 words, Bat Eater. So the bloody messes don't really bother Kara. She's more bothered by the germs on the subway railings, the bare hands of a stranger, the hidden viruses in every corner, and the bite marks on her coffee table. Of course, ever since Delilah was killed in front of her, Cora can't be sure what's real and what's in her head. She pushes away all feelings and ignores the advice of her aunt to prepare for the Hungry Ghost Festival when the gates of hell open. But she can't ignore the dread in her stomach as she keeps finding bat carcasses at crime scenes, or the scary fact that all her recent cleanups have been bodies of East Asian women. As Cora will soon learn, you can't just ignore hungry ghosts. So, the reason why I was interested in this and that I added it to my TBR, to be perfectly honest, was, of course, we know during pandemic COVID, it started out with like bats that were eaten, consumed. I don't know. Like that was the case of it. And I remembered 2019. I was still working. Like at the end of 2019, I was still working at a hospital, and me being pretty much looking like a Chinese, because I am half Chinese. It was rough. It was rough because when I was like during the pandemic night shift, lining up to grab some food, some snacks, so that I won't get super sleepy during the night shift. Um, was lining up, and like a couple of kids, I don't know if there were street kids or not because it was like 10 p.m. and they were like shouting and screaming at me that I was the one that caused COVID. Yeah, something like that happened to me. And I was like, I know that they're kids. I know that I look very much Chinese. And I know that they don't really understand, nor were they taught manners at that point, but they were pointing at me, shouting at me, making jokes that I was the one that ate the bat that caused COVID, and I just did not react. Like the other people that are in the line were like super like sympathetic, I guess. They look at me and as if saying sorry for the behaviors of other people towards me, and I was like, just ignore them. I'm already tired. It's 10 p.m. I'm going to start my night shift in a bit. And yeah, it was like a terrible time. And when I saw this, and it's like I remembered something from that, and I just am quite wondering. I guess I already can see what's happening here, but still, it's something that I am interested in reading. And yeah, I guess that's like a very long story for the reason why I added a certain book to my TBR. And yeah, it's just like part of life, I guess. But anyways, on a lighter note, hopefully we're going to roll for our last book for this week. And Mad Honey. Okay, so I still got the two books that I actually was really excited to get to this week. And I am going to add The Appeal by Janice Hallett for this as well, just because I've already started reading it. So I'm going to look for the synopsis first. Mad Honey by Katie Welch. When Beck Weiss vanished, his girlfriend Melissa Makepeace poured herself into caring for the family farm, silently absorbing the fact that another man had disappeared from her life. But when Beck reappears 3 months later, thin and pale, he has no idea what day it is and is filled with memories of being part of a bee colony. A series of layered mysteries begin to unravel. What happened to Beck? Where did Melissa's father go? How can she keep the farm together? With gorgeous descriptions, depth, characterizations, and a page-turning plot, Mad Honey immerses the reader in a search for truth bound by the everyday magic of beekeeping, of family, and of finding peace, all while asking how much more we really understand the natural world. Okay, I did not expect it to be like guys disappearing and returning from a weird colony. What is happening? Okay, now I'm intrigued. Now I'm pretty much intrigued. I don't know what genre this is. Mystery? Literary fiction? I don't know. Um, but I'm quite excited. I'm quite curious of what this is. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the TBR that we have because I did manage to get three from the new set and then two from the older set. Granted that we also carry over four other books from the two previous weeks. And then I'm going to add The Appeal by Janice Hallett here, which is quite a long book, a mystery thriller fiction. I need to read through where the synopsis starts. This murder mystery follows a community rallying around a sick child. But when escalating lies lead to a dead body, everyone is a suspect. The Fairway Players, a local theater group, is in the midst of rehearsals when tragedy strikes the family of director Martin Hayward and his wife Helen, the play's star. Their young granddaughter has been diagnosed with a rare form of cancer and with an experimental treatment costing a tremendous sum. Their castmates rally to raise the money to give her a chance at survival. But not everyone is convinced of the experimental treatment's efficacy, nor of the good intentions of those involved. As tension grows within the community, things come to a shocking head at the explosive dress rehearsal. The next day, a dead body is found, and soon an arrest is made. In the run up to the trial, two young lawyers sift through the materials, emails, messages, letters with a growing suspicion that the killer may be hiding in plain sight. The evidence is all there between the lines, waiting to be uncovered. A wholly modern and gripping take on the epistolary novel, The Appeal is a daring, clever, and funny debut for fans of Richard Osman and Lucy Foley. So I do have a physical copy of The Appeal. I actually thrifted this, and I bought this last time when my best friend and I went out, and we each bought two books. And this was one of the books that I got. I was super excited when I saw these on shelves because when it's here in the Philippines and you thrift books, it's most likely like mass market paperbacks of like James Patterson, David Baldacci, um, other like Michael Crichton, Debbie Macomber, and a lot of like those commonly seen authors on thrift stores. And when I saw The Appeal, I was like super excited. I did not even like look at the synopsis at first, and I was like, when I started reading this earlier, I was super surprised that it is like a theater group that happened to have like a murder that happened here. There's a lot of them. There's a whole cast of characters. And what I love about this book is that it is written all in emails and text messages and memorandums and notes. And you get to know the cast of characters through the way that they write their emails and talk to people. Like you could tell a lot of nuances when it comes to like their voices and how they treat a certain person, whether or not they were lying to that person or not. Like for one instance, there is this part, I won't really like be very specific, but there is this part wherein they were casting the cast for like auditions for the cast of the new play, and the main player is now withdrawing from the play, and they need to get new cast members for that particular part, for that particular role. And two girls were casted and they refused because they have something else to do, because the reason why they are part of this group is, I believe, I don't know if it's like their church or just their community, I guess. And some of the people here are like um, part of the medical staff. Some of them are older people, older citizens of the community, and some are like owners of different properties. Like they are like different walks of life, basically. And the one that casted this role was like um, she he chose person A and person B, and both of them refused because like exams and such. And person number three is the one that's really wanting this role. And when one and two refused, the director messaged number three, and like when the space was open, you were the first one that I thought about casting for this role. And it was like, no you didn't. No you did not, you asked two other people. And like that's like so like very much human to me, if I'm being honest. It's like super realistic, because if it's like messages, emails, texts, you are not sure if the person that you are contacting is really sincere in what they are messaging you. And if you get the whole picture, then you can see that some things are not what they seem, basically. So I'm excited for this one as well. I'm making the appeal as my office book for now, because it's quite long and I'm going to read that at the office. It's quite easy to read because it's all mixed media. It's all emails and messages and memorandums, invitations and like posts and letters. And I'm just like thrilled about it. I'm still trying to like get my mind accustomed to the way it is written, but it's quite interesting. It's like tickling my brain a little bit. But yeah, I'm going to update if I have anything to update. But either way, 6 books added to the TBR. So our TBR now is 10 books total. So I'm just going to quickly go through them: Crime and Punishment, Atalanta, The Paleontologist, City of Last Chances, um, Notes on an Execution, Boy Parts, Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zheng, Mad Honey, The Appeal, and Eat the Ones You Love. So for now, I'm still going to continue with Notes on an Execution, but I'm still trying to get a mood into that because it's kind of hard to read, I guess. Um, Kind of annoyed, I guess. I'm not sure if annoyed is the right term, but I'm still trying to get the right mood to read that. So I might start with either Eat the Ones You Love or Mad Honey, because I'm still emotional from recalling that incident with relating to that bat eater stuff. So I'm like, maybe another time. But any case, I'm going to just put the book on what I'm going to read next. Okay, I keep thinking that if I'm not going to do this today, I'm probably not going to do this ever. And I feel kind of overwhelmed. So let's just deal with this. I'm going to film it so that my mind will be taken off of this. And this is not much of a reading update because no reading has happened this past weekend. So today is Sunday. As I'm filming this, it is already the 18th of May, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I haven't been reading, but I feel like I'm in a bit of a slump. So to take my mind off of that slump and just rest for a bit, the weekend, specifically Saturday, has been quite busy. I joined in with the Pokemon community card show event situation in a local group of Pokemon enthusiasts, card collectors, sellers, people in the TCG community. And I went there specifically looking for particular cards and also bought myself some merch and stuff. So what I'm going to do right now is like a little bit of a storytelling basically of what went on in that event while I was there. And it was fun. It was super fun actually. I'm just super exhausted from yesterday. It's yesterday when I am as I'm filming this, it is yesterday for me. So spoilers a little bit, but here we are. Oops, almost dropped the cards. So I went there specifically looking for cards that are, what do you call this? In my collection that are like crochet or knitted. My camera is very not focusing because there's a lot of stuff on my desk, but it's more on like crochet or knitted sort of cards, as well as cards from a particular set of cards that have that illustration wherein you form a big scene with it. Like there are 9 cards in that, and I need to look for my particular page where I put that thing. I actually forgot which page that is. Hold on a sec. Is it in the front? So this binder is going to be tough to focus on, but I specifically was looking for cards from this particular set. I didn't care if it's English or Japanese. As you can see, I did pull some Japanese cards here, and what I noticed, or like I've been opening. So here we are with the page. This is the Hyogonosuke set. Some of the cards here are not like exclusive to one particular set of cards. That's why it's kind of difficult to look for it. And basically, these are books from my own personal pack openings and collection, and I wanted to complete it. While I was there was a guy that actually finished this, and I just needed 4 cards, as you can see here. So it's the Magikarp, the Palosand, the Lechonk, and the Skwovet. So those are the 4 cards that I needed. And when I was there, was actually able to get some of the cards. And here's the Palosand. I even got some of the evolution cards. No Sylveon, sadly, but was able to get what I needed. I know no sleeves, but that's fine. And I also got a lot of bulk here. So this is the Magikarp, and here's the Lechonk. So I'm actually happy that somebody found this Magikarp because I was looking through 3 boxes of just bulk cards, and it was so discouraging, disheartening. As you can see here, like the scene is connected to these scenes, this to that, and it makes up a whole image. I just need the Skwovet last, and I don't have it, and that's kind of sad, but I'm still pleased that at least I got 3 out of the 4 that I need. Just need 1 more. I guess these are all from the Scarlet and Violet era of cards, so who knows? I might open, I might not, it's fine. One of these days, I'm going to look for this particular card. Another reason why I went there was maybe someone would like to trade for McDonald's Happy Meal cards. And I only needed 2 left, as you can see here. I only need the Hydreigon as well as the Roaring Moon. And when I was there looking through all of the bulk cards, the card owner or like the shop owner or whatever was opening a McDonald's pack live. The other one got a Pikachu, which I already have, and the other one got the Hydreigon. And I overheard him complaining, was like, I am so unlucky that I got a Hydreigon. He was thinking like, this is the only pack that I was supposed to open. And I asked him, what is the particular card that you were looking for, if I might have a like extra of it. And he was like, I wanted a Dragonite, which I already have a Dragonite for myself, and I was I did have a Dragonite for trade. Like it was here, and it was like I could do one to one, and I got the Hydreigon, and I was super pleased with it. And this is number 10, so this is here. Super happy with this. Like it's not the best cut, but at least I don't need to purchase another Happy Meal for this particular card to look for it. And then the other one was Roaring Moon. And I did, while I was looking through other card shops, one in particular was also looking for a Dragonite, which sadly I only have one. But when we decided to get lunch, my brother and I decided to get lunch, we opened two more packs and I got a Dragonite. And I went back to the card shop, I went back to the card show and looked for that guy and got the Roaring Moon. So basically, we have completed the whole set of the 2025 Dragons McDonald's Happy Meal cards. Yeah, and I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm pretty pleased. And the other stuff that I got from that, I was looking for. These are actually like the vending machine that they were doing. I was not quite lucky. They did say that it was like 10 pesos per crank at the machine, and I got these cards. The owner did say that he did put some like Pokemon packs in there if you're lucky, but I only went for it twice. And yeah, this one looks um no, it's a different one. This one looks almost quite old, if I'm being honest, but it is, I believe, might be Scarlet Violet still. And Lacey and Mabostiff and Old Amber. Yeah, so those are just comments that I got from that vending machine. And then these are the ones that took me so long that I had to pick out. So I was looking for those from, what is this again? Yukamori cards. Those are like the clay ones, as well as Asako Ito's crochet ones. So I got those, the clay ones, and then one of the crochet ones. I am looking for some that are from the crochet ones. Like these are all of the clay ones and some of the crochet ones. So I'm just going to leave this for now, sleeve it, and then put it in the binder for my collection. As for these two Iron Valiant cards, I just wanted to add more to my collection. I did purchase this one, a Gardevoir card, just so that I forgot that I actually have the same one. Oh dear. Oh well, more cards. I could have just picked this one and not this one, but that's fine. So more Iron Valiant cards for me for my Gardevoir page. I'm going to move the Mimikyus and put more of the Iron Valiants here. And then I also got an Ortega trainer card. I don't know. Oh, this is from Obsidian Flame. So I did open only two packs of the Obsidian Flame last year, or was it 2 years ago now? And I did manage to get the Golden Terrestrialized Charizard on my second pack. And I believe whenever I get a hit from a particular series or like a particular set of cards, I tend to just stop. That's what I normally do. So I decided to just pick up this Ortega card. I don't recall if they gave this to me, I guess, because it's just a common, and I really wanted an Ortega card. Like of all of the Team Star, I guess Ortega is my favorite one. And I also purchased the full art. They gave me a discount for this one. And I just really wanted an Ortega card. And while I was browsing one of the binders from this particular PokeJad TCG shop, and I saw it. I saw the card that I've always wanted from Battle Partners or Journey Together. Battle Partners is the Japanese counterpart, I guess, of Journey Together. And I always wanted that ends Reshiram card. Like, I don't care if it's Japanese, Chinese, or whatever. I guess there's no Chinese for that, but I just wanted ends Reshiram card. It's the most beautiful card I've ever seen, and I just wanted it. And I went back and forth. I told myself it was like priced at 650 pesos, which, to be fair, for a Japanese card, that's already a steal, if I'm being honest. It wasn't really perfect. It does have some whites or whitening at the back. And it was like going back and forth. I went to another stall, looked for bulk, and then came back to Pokejad, and I was like, can I have it for 600? And he was quick with it and was like, okay, I will give it for 600. And it's like, it's just for my personal collection. I was thinking if I like the selling price of battle partners as of the moment is 220 pesos per pack. And I know that it's probably accelerating if I'm going to pull the card myself, but for the price of 3 packs to get that one card, you are not guaranteed to get that hit in 3 packs. So yeah, I bought it. I bought my favorite card of all time. When I played black and white, I believe I chose black so I can get Reshiram. I forgot if that's the case, but I got the one that has Reshiram. It's fine. There is a little bit of whitening here and also at the top, right there. So I don't know if you can see it, but there is like white spots there. And there's no bend. Centering is quite okay, but I'm not really going to sell this one. This is going to stay in like my card trophy collection alongside probably Iono's Kilowatt Roll and my Cassiopeia card that has a dent on it, but that's the only card I have with the Sylveon, so I'm pretty happy that I got this. And I guess there are other cards that I've gotten there as well. I think there's one more. I'm being honest. This Chinese Sprigatito with very sparkly stars. They have all of the different holo types, and then of course these two. I'm going to resort all of these cards. If I'm being honest, it's just too much for me just now. It's just too much actually. But yeah, I'm going to put the Sprigatito one here in my prized ones. I'll give you a little bit of a flip through for this one. This particular binder is all of my hits. This is my hits binder, and these are all cards that I personally have pulled, and each one of these have like a story that I'm just like can't get over, or like can't. I'm pretty much a very attached person, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm very sentimental, and each of these card hits, I believe, has a story of when I pulled it. And I don't know, when I was asked earlier if I was willing to trade for some of the cards, and I said I did not bring my hits binder because I did not want to trade any of them because of sentimental reasons. Like, for example, this Espathra, what do I call this? Espathra card. I got this opening a pack on my dad's birthday. This, I forgot the name. Turtonator card, I believe, is one from my birthday. This Ferrothorn card was the card pack chosen by my brother. He came home. I told him, like, bring me a pack, buy me just one pack from this particular set. And he chose one and got the Ferrothorn. And then this Evoltal, my most prized one actually, there were 2 packs left of this particular series or set. And I told my best friend, we went out on a coffee hopping trip. And it was like, let's go by the card shop and purchase a pack. And there were 2 packs of this left, and I was like, choose. And she got 1 pack. She chose the one with the Evoltal one. And of course, these 3 are also from my birthday packs. Nimona, as well as the shiny ones, are from the very first Paldean Fates booster box, very first booster box that I've opened in my entire life. These are just random packs that I bought from Toy Kingdom or Toys R Us. Some of these cards, this one I also opened with my best friend. She chose the pack with the Veltal. I got the pack with the Terra Alolan Executor. And then some of these hits are gifted from my brother's friend, like these ones. So this is my hits pack. I'm probably going to put my Ortega card here as well, probably in another page, so that there is another page just for trainers. And oh my god, this does not even have a sleeve. Hold on a second. Miscut? There's like black lines down there. I have my sleeves here, actually. They're ready. So let me grab one. I could have gotten the Airy card as well as the Atticus card. But I was already over budget when it came to Pokemon cards because I have already bought the Ennis Reshiram at that point when I saw the Atticus card. But yeah, really love that. Prize possession. Going to close this first because it's flopping around. I still have a lot of stuff here. Other haul non-card related are these stickers and these. This is actually pretty funny. My brother got this for me. So basically, when I'm displaying this on my like trophy shelf, this is at the bottom of it because reasons, and also this one. Pretty funny. And at the same shop, I got these 3 stickers for 50. This is duplicates because I am going to give this one to Abigail because we love the Fate. Um, we love the Type Moon universe, Fate universe, and I just really like this like ragdoll style of Sprigatito. I'm actually I really wish that I gotten the Litten as well, but I was like in a rush and already over budget. So I decided to just get one. And then from I don't know how to pronounce the name of the artist. Is it Cirque or Circe? Cirque? I'm going to put the socials on screen because I did take a picture of that. And I just got some of the Saurians. And this is pretty cute. I don't know if I was the first customer of hers, but oh no, where's the Lepa Berry? Anyway, I got the 3 Saurians. I love these. So cute. Master Ball, a ribbon, and then this Giratina. I don't know if you have been watching like my shorts, my YouTube shorts, but I did. Oh no, did I lose the Lepa Berry? There's supposed to be another Lepa Berry like this small of a sticker. I'm going to find it later, I guess. Maybe it's in my dresser drawer. But yeah, there's supposed to be another Lepa Berry here. But if you have been watching my shorts, you would have seen that Giratina just does not leave me alone while I was opening one of those packs. So I'm actually thinking that I would like to put it here. Like I'm just going to use it now. Use it now or risk it losing its stickiness over a couple of months if I don't use it. And also this, I don't know if I'm going to put the Sprigatito here as well because there are types of stickers that just do not stick on this particular material of the binder. So as you can see here, just kind of dirty because I did pull out a sticker there that does not stick. Kind of want to put it here. We're just basically just sticking all the stickers down. Yeah, it's fine. And then I really want to put this here, but I know that this won't stick. It's kind of cute there. Put it on Larry. Would that be cute? It's kind of funny. Or put it on an Eevee. But it covers like the point of it being all pixelated. No, put it in Giratina. Maybe I can put it here. Yeah, let's put it there. Oh, you can't even see it. Hold on. There. And then Master Ball. Basically using these up now. Because I did tell myself if I'm buying any sticker, I need to use them. Or else they will curl, they will lose their stickiness, and it's going to be sad. Like this Larry, I did put double tape on this one because I really love this sticker, but it lost its stickiness. So yeah, use it immediately. No Lepa Berry there. So I think I'm just going to clean up the cards first so that no accidents will happen. And then I will talk more about what happened yesterday because Saturday is not over yet. There's a lot still that I want to talk about Saturday. If you have been noticing that this is like coming off, don't mind it. I have no mood to sew it together for the moment. It's under something most of the time during a video, so let's leave it as it is. And while I was cleaning up with my cards, and you have seen that I've already completed the Pokemon McDonald's Happy Meal cards, I do have 11. I have 11 to Dragon Bolts. 11 of the pack arts and the Asia exclusive Umbreon. I really want another Umbreon that is unopened, so we'll know if I'm able to get one more pack. But anyway, the dilemma that I have for these packs is that each of them, like also, I don't really like that they put numbers on them, but that's fine. Dragapult, although I like Dragapult and Dranpa, they're not necessarily my favorite, and I don't really want to get more of them. I just want another Umbreon that is unopened, because for like the last time when McDonald's Happy Meals also came out with Pokemon cards, the Scarlet Violet starters, I did get the Sprigatito one, and it's still unopened until now. So I just wanted one that is unopened. But as I said, my dilemma for these 11 packs is that each of the pack actually comes with an activity sheet. Like it's a poster. Like each one is like a different set of three, but some of them are like the same, only like, for example, this Charizard. It's like basically the same, but it's only zoomed in more. But if I have 11 boxes, I also have 11 of these posters, and behind it are these activity sheets wherein you stick stickers. And you know me, I love my stickers. And I don't know if I want to stick them in, or like what I'm going to do with it. I was thinking I'm going to make like a separate like ASMR-ish video of just me sticking stickers on all 11 posters in here. But I also like, for example, this one has an Umbreon that it's all of it. And I don't know if I want to maybe put it in here or maybe put it on my journal. That's a dilemma. And I don't know. Do let me know down in the comments what you suggest I would do for this. I'm like, I want to use these, or like I want to like maybe if I find a poster. I still haven't opened some of the posters that are in here. As you can see, there are only 4 here, so there are 7 more here that I don't know what the combination of the 3 Pokemon are. So if I'm, for some reason, am able to get like, if only this one, no offense to Charizard mains or Charizard lovers, but if it was like Miraidon, I know that Miraidon is like not really a popular choice, but if it was Miraidon here in the middle, this would have been my favorite poster, because those are the 3 that I love. I could also take Hydreigon. Hydreigon is also fine, but yeah, so that's enough for the Pokemon stuff that happened yesterday. So what else happened yesterday was that my dad, I don't know what, but I guess they had a fundraiser for the hearing impaired and deaf scholars, kids, and they had tickets for a book screening movie of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. To be fair, I haven't watched, like I maybe have watched the first one but forgotten. So I had to put 2 and 2 together on what's happening in the movie, but it's fine. I went with my brother. We spent like maybe 3 hours. It's like a 2.5, 3 hour movie. It was fine. It was fun. We also got Krispy Kreme. I actually ripped up the packaging because the rest of the packaging was pretty sticky, and this is like the only place that is not sticky with donut. So I just rip it out. I don't have any memorabilia from Gato Gelato, so that's fine. But I enjoyed most of the movie. I don't really watch movies that much, so I don't really have an opinion of it, like a very detailed review of it. It's just that I enjoyed it. I don't enjoy the part wherein this is supposed to be a PG-13 movie, and yet there is a lot of kids there. And one in particular sat behind me and kept kicking and like hit my head 3 times because they got super excited. And I did motion to the mother to like, please control your kid. I cannot last 3 hours with her hitting. I realized that it was a girl when I looked back. And I'm kind of sad for the mom because she literally went out because the kid was like screaming at like the middle of the movie. So like I do not mind the screaming, at least for me. Of course, other people, I don't say that this is for everyone in the theater, but me in particular, I do not mind screaming kids in a cinema. I just don't like if they keep hitting me on the head. They hit me 3 times, I guess, or was it 4 or 5 times? But hit me 3 or 4 times and then kick me twice. So I really turned my back to the parents and like, I'm fine with the screaming, just don't hit me in the head. And the mom literally just went out, and they could have moved to like the backside of the cinema or something. She didn't really need to like go out. I guess maybe the screaming is what like etiquette, I guess, for other moviegoers. And this is a block screening. This is a fundraiser, and there are a lot of people there like trying to enjoy their night. And yeah, that I don't really watch movies in theaters or cinemas that often. And The other time I went to the cinema was last year, also like around May, I believe. It was like the Haikyuu movie. I went with my best friend, and that was the director's club. So it's like pretty far away. Like you don't have anyone behind you, in front of you, beside you. Like it's basically one chair, arms width, basically. So yeah, that is one. And then I do have an opinion of the Krispy Kreme cinnamon cheesecake though. It's more of like a churro, like a very doughy churro that only has cream cheese on it. So I don't really recommend it if I'm being honest. Kind of too pricey for something that's super doughy and chewy and not really flavorful. If I'm being honest, it's like a cinnamon churro basically. Um, so we really needed water because of how doughy it was. And in the evening, we did get barbecue and then gato gelato, dark chocolate, and Sandoval, which it's fine. It's fine. And yeah, that is like very much my eventful night. We came home at around 9 p.m. ish. And yeah, I didn't sleep until midnight, which segue, um, perfect segue to supposedly I will have had the time to read during that 3 hour period wherein I haven't slept yet from 9 to 12, and yet here I am in a reading slump. I have been reading, um, what do you call this? I have been reading Eat the Ones You Love. I haven't been felt like I haven't felt gripped yet on the story. Like I'm at the very beginning where our main character entered this like mall. She was trying to look for a job because her family is trying to like slowly get it to her head that she's kind of like freeloading basically, and she doesn't have a job, and she's working on it. And when she passed by after getting, I believe, groceries, she passed by this flower shop that has, instead of a help wanted, it's like help needed in their sign, and she wanted to work at a flower shop. And the florist was like kind of eccentric but also gripped the main character. She finds her interesting, I guess. I don't know what's going on there just yet. First two chapters, I guess, in the book. So it hasn't gripped me yet, and the horror hasn't happened yet. And also, I did not really touch on notes and execution. I don't know why it's not calling to me as of the moment, but I did manage to read a couple of pages of the appeal, and that one actually gripped me. I'm kind of sad that I made it into like my office book because I left it at the office, and so I don't have access to it during the weekend. And I really, really want to read that one, and maybe I will look for an ebook copy of it. But I really am enjoying how it's beginning. Um, for one, Isabel Beck, I know that there are people who are like just very much annoying. I don't know if she is the one that Samantha is calling out to HR or not, but she's just a little bit overbearing, and like it's very interesting how people interact with one another and how they keep on explaining that Issy is a little bit too much. And yeah, it's entertaining. I will show the this week, and it looks pretty much bare. I'm very not in my journal as of this part because here I did manage to go to the SM sale. I have clips of me eating with my aunt at a restaurant, and I also purchased a couple of stuff for the house. I'm probably going to list this down here. Then the next day I got really sick, but I did manage to start making an amigurumi doll of Homura Akemi from Puella Magi Madoka Magica. I'm actually trying to make one like freehand the clothes because I don't have patterns for any of it. I just looked for a base pattern for the body, and then I'm just going to freehand the outfit. I've already finished the skirt. I need to figure out how I'm going to do the layers of her magical girl outfit, and also how to deal with the eyes and the hair and the head basically. I only have very little flesh colored yarn left. So if I'm going to show the doll later in one of the clips and you notice that the body is like the arms are flesh colored, the legs are black because she does have stockings, so I just immediately just crocheted all of the legs part black, but also the torso, and then up until the neck area I crocheted it in brown yarn. They will all be covered by the outfit, the hair, the head, and yeah, I just needed to like preserve as much stitches for the flesh colored yarn because that's all I have left. So this is today. I don't know if I'm going to film a plan with me. I didn't even film the plan with me for this one because it was that chaotic. And this week in particular was such a mess. And yeah, now that I have finished filming like my haul, also explaining this one, explaining my book rut, I might be able to like have the motivation to just pick myself back up and get off this book slump, basically. So I'm going to update more when the days progress. We still have like I already decorated this even without filming. I don't know if I'm going to film a plan with me and a memory keeping this week because of how chaotic it is. Haven't even filmed my April wrap up, if I'm being honest. It's just that uh but in any case, it's fine. We're going to push through and we'll see if I'll make this plan with me or not. But other than that, yeah, even prepared for the last week. I'm going to journal for yesterday and then going to proceed with reading whatever it is that I find my fancy. I might be able to like, I might choose a different book if I'm being honest from the other books that I've rolled. It's not here. It's not actually not here. It's in the other notebook. But yeah, I'm just going to update you guys whenever there's something to update. I'm sorry, I've already turned off the camera and already removed my mic, but I just want to mention this. This is from the Circe artist that I mentioned earlier in the hall, and the one that's being covered is actually a Pikachu. I just realized that, and that's adorable. So yeah, I'm going to definitely use this in my journal. Good morning. Finally have something of a book update for you guys for this week. I feel like I haven't done that at all this week, but I am at 50% and Eat the Ones You Love. And it really does remind me of the Robinson's Snake Under the Mall case. And I didn't know that it was sapphic at first, sapphic romance, but I'm kind of enjoying the flow of the book. It's a very much grotesque, not yet grotesque, I guess, but it's getting there. But also reminds me so much of A Botanical Daughter. And so far, so good. I'm enjoying it. It's just that me, as someone who's currently taking care of a lot of plants, tomatoes, seedlings, or sprouts, or what stage are they on? Like they are growing bigger and I've just repotted them. So yeah, my tomato plants. So as someone who's taking care of plants in particular, and also reading this book, it's kind of like, oh my God, it's terrifying. But I am enjoying it so far, 50% into the book. And I like the flow of it. However, the changing of perspective is not really that seamless. We are looking through the eyes of the plant as well as like some correspondence with the ex-girlfriend of the florist, the main florist, I guess, the boss of the main character. And the perspective shifts are like kind of not that seamless, but I'm fine with it. I get by. And also I have finished 100 pages of the appeal, and I am enjoying that very very much. It is more of like, not to spoil anything much, but they are having this like fundraiser ball for the granddaughter of the owners of the Grange, that has a very rare brain cancer, and they are raising funds. And their friends and other family members are trying to raise funds for them, help them in their time of need. Um, One of them organized this big ball, like a black suit sort of ball, and all proceeds were expected to go to the medicine that they are trying to purchase for this girl, and the funds are not lining up. There is this doctor that is going to purchase the medicine, and people are getting suspicious of this doctor because it's her personal account, I guess, that's going to purchase. So the money is going into her personal account, something like that. And a lot of people are getting suspicious of that. And also the funds are not aligning. One of the family members are like is not disclosing the amount they received offline, like outside of the GoFundMe page, and also like the fundraisers and all that. And also there are new people coming into their lives that are willingly helping them. So the family is getting suspicious of what these people's motives are. And so it's just a bunch of like emails, correspondence, um, memos, invitations, and letters, text messages that we are looking into, similar to the two like investigators, I guess, who has received these documents in order to solve this case. And 100 pages in is really not that much because there are a lot still to go through, but it's already getting pretty interesting. So far, that is the update. And I'm quite pleased with the two books. I haven't continued with Notes on an Execution yet as like a um, carry over from previous week's reading vlog, but so far I'm enjoying the two books that I'm reading. I'll get to it when I get to it, so not to get into a reading slump. I was almost there at the brink of a reading slump. So yeah, I'm going to update more once I have anything else to update. Hello, I am back for another update. Good morning. It is the 22nd of May as I'm filming this. And I have good news, I have bad news, I have somewhat unfortunate news. Good news first is that I have finished a book. I have finished Eat the Ones You Love, and I gave it a 3.5 stars. Um, I wasn't expecting it at first to be overly grotesque. I guess I expected it to be very much like a botanical daughter. It is quite like a queer romance as well. Um, but also it was just a weird way to end it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for what it is. I literally just shut my brain off and let the vibes vibe, I guess. It's such a vibe sort of horror book, I guess. So a lot of like what do you call this? A lot of body horror and like plant stuff getting into orifices, and it's like, okay, this is not for everyone, but somehow I enjoyed reading it because it reminds me so much of A Botanical Daughter, for that matter. And for the unfortunate news, I guess, is I only finished one book. So it's good that I finished one, but it's also kind of bad because it's nearing the end of the week. It is Thursday right now, which is supposed to be like the last day that I am filming for this particular vlog. However, I thought to myself, why not just extend it until um, Friday or Saturday, I guess, so that the last weekly vlog for the month is going to cover the whole end of May. And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, let's just extend it because even though there are a lot of stuff happening, even though there's a lot of stuff happened in this weekend, there's just not much reading for it to be a reading vlog, if you know what I mean. And yeah, the other book that I picked up, I guess, is supposed to be Mad Honey, and that's the other unfortunate news. I did look for it, and I am not able to get a copy of Mad Honey as of the moment. So I decided to change it to a book that I already have in my e-reader, The Bone Orchard, and actually did not pick that up just yet. I actually picked up Boy Parts by Eliza Clark, I believe is the last name. Um, it was weird. I am at 30% of the book as of last night, and I stayed up quite late last night just to get a big chunk of the book off. Um, and I was chatting with my best friend about the book. She doesn't really read horror or dark fiction or whatever, and this book has just a lot of trigger warnings with like abuse, manipulation, sexual harassment, trauma, um, mental illness, I guess. And I was like, this one is like, one, it was kind of boring, kind of draggy at the part wherein there's a lot of drugs involved. And then it kind of is pretty much boring at that point, like the first two or three chunks of the book. the first 30%, I guess, that I've read last night was kind of boring. And I looked through the comment section, the reviews on Fable, and all of them have gave this like a higher review. 3 and up, I guess, it's fine with me, especially since it's horror. It's not for everyone, so it tends to be on the lower side when it comes to horror, lower ratings. So I did look through like the 3 and up reviews, and they did say it's like American Psycho-esque, female rage-esque, and those are like the types of books that I really do enjoy. And they did say that the ending was like confusing, but in a way good. So it kept me going. So I am going to continue with this book. However, yeah, trigger warning. Like it's just trigger after trigger after trauma after trauma of a book wherein our main character Irina is a photographer, like a from art school. Her art school is like a for the shock value sort of art school, wherein she entered there and it's just all body parts and weird stuff like portrayed as art. And also, she is like her line of work is like fetish photography. So mostly, her models are like femboys and men who are somewhat submissive, I guess, and masochists. And so this is like where I was like, if the main character was a man, this is like, it's already a red flag, basically. It just goes to show that this book is telling you that women can also be predators, basically. And it's so weird. But then again, it's like reflection of her own traumas. Like she became her own abuser sort of situation. And I'm interested to see if like she gets away with it, or is she like get caught or something like that, because a lot of the people in the review said that it's like an unreliable narrator. And yeah, I'm still going to continue with this one. So the plan for today, Thursday, and tomorrow, Friday, is to cram. Basically, I'm going to cram finish this one tonight because I would like to continue with the appeal while I'm at work. I am at around 130 or 40 pages into the appeal out of like 400 something, and it is quite a lot. I still am like annoyed with one of the characters in the appeal. Like she's super obnoxious, and also a lot of secrets are starting to happen. Like an old beef between a nurse and this doctor who is super sus. The nurse is also sus with her husband. The annoying character is also a little bit too much. The grandfather of the child who has cancer is also quite sus, and it's getting really confusing now. So yeah, in other words, I'm going to continue with this one, and I'm going to continue with the appeal, and hopefully I will be able to read one more book. Like it's not likely to happen that I'm going to finish 3 books in 2 days. It's not likely I'm going to finish the appeal, but I would like to get a decent chunk of it, and then continue with it on the next week. But I would like to at least finish this one and maybe try Bat Eater or Bone Orchard is basically the plan for the rest of this reading vlog. Do not mind that I have ink here. I did refill my fountain pen. That's why there's a lot of ink spillage. But I did not really film a plan with me for this week. But I really like how this looks, so I just want to show it off on video. I am currently here, so final cram read for the vlog. I did write in here that I would like to finish it on Friday, but I might move it on Saturday, just so I have another day, another full day to cram the rest of my reading. Like I don't really necessarily like cramming reading. However, I did notice this of me, wherein if I am at 50% of a particular book, especially on my e-reader, the reading tends to go by super fast. I don't know why. Like I am more motivated to finish reading a book when I see that I am already at 50%. I don't know why that's it. But recently, like in the past couple of books that I have been reading for this month, I have noticed that. Like if I see that I'm like 46, 47%, I'm like, oh, this book is like way too long. But when I hit that 50, 51% mark, even though it's like 1,000 pages book, I still am like, oh, this is going to be super quick now because I am more motivated to finish this book. And I noticed that. So possibly I might finish Boy Parts tonight and start with Bone Orchard or Bat Eater, whichever I feel like I want to read. But the goal is to finish this one, get maybe 100 more pages in the appeal so that I have 200 pages left for the next reading vlog, and then choose another book. I am already like, even though you can see here that I've already actually read 10 books, Notes on an Execution has been like soft DNF as of the moment, so I might take this out and replace it with something else. I tend to have this goal wherein I would like to read 10 or 15 books per month because I like to make my book blanket aesthetic at the end of the month. I don't know why, but I tend to like seeing it in the increments of 10 or 5. So I believe my current book blanket is at 60 granny squares. So my book blanket, I crochet 3 colors that are part of the cover of the book um, per square, and then do it in order, and I basically sew it in as I go. So it's currently at 60, and Eat the Ones You Love is 63. Like, I have read 63 books already from my 100 goal for the year. I might increase it. Who knows? I might not increase it and just see how much I am over my goal basically at the end of the year. But anyway, I am going to just come back. I need to go to work, and we'll see where the rest of the week takes me. So I am here for the final update of this vlog. I actually took way too long to film this. It is actually Sunday now as I'm filming this. I tend to want to get this finished by Friday or Saturday and then upload it on Sunday. So this video is a little bit late, but I wanted to actually finish the book that I was currently reading by last clip, I guess, when I filmed it last Friday. I wanted to finish The Appeal by Janet Halliet before filming this video and ending this vlog basically. So here we are. I did manage to finish, which is good news. I finished 2 books before I turned on the camera, I guess. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, the last clip was me finishing Boy Parts by Eliza Clark and The Appeal by Janet Halliet. So let's get right into those. I gave Boy Parts a 3 out of 5, 3 stars. It was like, I don't know if like the same reaction that I gave to Mayfly. No, I don't think so. I think Mayfly was more insane compared to this one. And also the fact that the main character, Irina, is the same age as I am, and I don't understand. The comment section say, or the reviews say in Fable and Goodreads that it's unreliable narrator. I get why they say that, and I am very much confused on whether or not Irina, like whatever she is telling is really happening or is just in her head because of all of the drugs she's taken. But still, it's a roller coaster that I enjoyed very much. I did enjoy the flow of it. It's just that the part wherein like a big chunk of the book, it started slow at first, and then it's this big chunk of just her and her ventures into medications that are not legal, I guess. And it's just very difficult right at the end. It's like an obsession at that point, trying to find out her own like preferences, sexuality, as well as trying to fit in with society with like her own interests. Like her interest is quite niche, but also there are a lot of people like her as well that somehow gathered in this art gallery and art school, and it's just a big mess. But I did enjoy it. However, I just gave it a 3 out of 5 because of the big chunk of nonsense that happened. And then the other book that I've finished is The Appeal by Janet. I did say Janet, right? Janice Halliet actually is the author's name. And it took me a while. I read this physically until I got tired of carrying the book and just like got the ebook copy of it and finished like the rest of the case on ebook, like the last 100 pages actually. And I finished it before I slept, and it was great. It's 5-star for me. I really like the way that all of the clues and the story has been told in like correspondence, emails, messages, text messages from the different suspects. and it builds up the story, it builds their character as well. Like, it shows how they respond or how they message one particular person, and suddenly their attitude shifts to the other person that they feel more favorable for or not favorable for. And it's just a huge like power dynamic, I guess, of like people who are trying to fit in to be on the good side of this very wealthy family in their dynasty, and people just want to be accepted by the head of the families. And it's pretty interesting. Like, one of the characters, Isabel, who is the nurse at the geriatrics as well as a member of the theater group, the amateur theater group that all of the cast of characters are a part of, in order to raise funds for the granddaughter of this wealthy couple, who is the owner, like founder, I guess, of the theater as well, this owner of the Grange wealthy couple. Their granddaughter has this very rare brain disease, cancer, I guess. And as you progress with the correspondence, things are getting pretty suspicious. Everybody's acting very suspiciously. Like, conversations and like established truths start to fall apart as the day goes by. Money starts to like disappear here and there, and it's just strange. But the two like detectives, I guess, that are part of this case, Charlotte and Femi, like, it's their perspective that we are following, because they are the ones like reviewing all of these correspondence from all of the suspects, and they are trying to build the case of who done it, basically. And I find it interesting, like the different ways that they respond, the shift in character. Like, you can tell, like, almost as if like you can hear the tone of their voices through their messages. And sometimes if it's like emails or text message, you can't really tell the tone 100% of what a person is feeling on, like, as the digital age is. Like, I remember one person like years ago, before like social media took over, like early Facebook days, like early just emails. I remember a classmate of mine was like texting, and she was responding to this friend of hers, like a mutual friend, a common friend. She was laughing, but her face was like so blank. Like, she was responding to a joke of this friend, laughing, ha ha ha, texting ha 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 with a smiley face. But the way she texts, like her facial expression was like super blank. And I find it funny. And as you can tell, like, not always the like tone is being delivered through the messages, I guess. And as you go through the case, you can see that some people are not what they seem or who they seem, and it was so interesting. It's just that some of the pieces were withheld until the very end. I guess that's what threw me off, like at the near end of us trying to find out who really did the murder. And I was like, I don't really know who it is, because some information were withheld, and Charlotte and Femi were able to like piece it together as that last piece of the puzzle was introduced by their boss, basically. So I really enjoyed it. I really recommend it. It started off really weird. We were just getting right into the story, right into the characters, the whole cast of people, and it started out really slow until it starts ramping up as the fundraisers and the appeal for the raising of funds for this poor cancer kid happens. And then at the very end, you were like, somehow half of me was like, I don't know who did the murdering, but I know that something suspicious is happening with the appeal and with the fundraiser. So it was great. It was super great. The only thing, I guess, that is left to be done for this video, I guess, is to recap. I did finish reading 3 books, which is fine. We have already finished a couple of books for the first couple of weeks here. So the only 2 books that I started this week but did not finish, I started Notes on an Execution last week, basically, or the video before this one. So I continued with that, but I am slowly thinking of soft DNFing it, just because I don't feel like I want to read it as of the moment. It's not like I'm not in the mood to read it. So I might cross that off and maybe re-roll for the next video. It's only the last week of May, so I might choose a couple of books for next video just to like wrap up. I'm hoping to finish 15, but I don't think I'm able to. And the other one is The Bone Orchard by Sarah A. Mueller. And that book is quite interesting for me as of the moment. I it is the book that I exchanged Mad Honey with because I couldn't find a copy of Mad Honey. I even went to the bookstore today to look for Mad Honey and I did not find it. So for now, that is like back to my TBR, and I chose The Bone Orchard instead. And just a little bit of what The Bone Orchard is. The king of this kingdom is poisoned by one of his sons. The one who is going to succeed in the throne is the one who's probably the one succeeding, or like the one who poisoned the king. The king has so much more to live because in their kingdom, in this universe, I guess, they are able to live long, I guess, due to magic or some sort of witchcraft or wizardry, whatever it is, some sort of magic that makes them live long, but they are not necessarily unkillable. So that's what happens to the king, and he sends for, actually the queen was the one who sent for his mistress, which is the main character of the book, who is the madam of a brothel, and she is a necromancer, and all of the girls in her brothel are basically parts of herself that I think she put into different bodies. So her name is Charm, and then her other girls are like Pain, Justice, Shame. Who else was there? I forgot. But you get the point. Like their name conventions is basically all of the aspects, all of the emotions of one particular woman split into different bodies. And the king assigned her to find out who was the one who attempted, or like was the one who poisoned him, and maybe find a better suited ruler because the king thinks that his sons are not deserving of the throne. So yeah, I'm just like 2 chapters into that. It's quite a long book, but I am very much interested in continuing with it after I finish filming the intro for the next vlog. But I am going to stop here. I do hope you enjoyed this one, even though it's like the most chaotic ever, but I think I have more clips because I went out more this time. And even though I only read 3 books, they were okay. And I was able to get a 5-star from this week, which is like the whole point of this, to maybe read a lot of books that I've been looking forward to and maybe nab myself a 5-star, which we did on the 3rd vlog of this month. So that's fine. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me this week. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, guys, take care and